Crime, a fact of life no matter where you live. Idaho certainly has its share, but how do we really compare to the rest of the country? Is this one of the safer places to live? State police have the newest numbers. Today, Idaho State Police Director Colonel Kedrick gives his viewpoint on crime in Idaho. Plus, move for fun, get fit for life. More than 10,000 people will soon bring the St. Luke's FitOne motto to life. They'll take to the streets of Boise to run, walk, or stroll in the 5K, 10K, or half marathon. We'll look at what's new for race day and for the Expo, and how money raised is being used to keep kids on track to a healthy lifestyle. Ahead on Viewpoint.
From Idaho's News Channel 7, this is Viewpoint.
Welcome to Viewpoint. I'm Doug Petcash. One of your main concerns is likely whether you and your family are safe from crime. If you've lived here for a long time, you may think Idaho and the Treasure Valley are relatively safe places. And you are right. I'll show you where Idaho ranks against the rest of the country when it comes to crime rates in a few minutes. And if you've moved here recently, maybe the relatively low crime is one of the key things that drew you here. That being said, there are still dangers out there and there is still crime. Every year, Idaho State Police put out the Crime in Idaho Report. It compiles crime stats from agencies across the state to give an idea of the trends in crime. ISP recently released the 2017 report. Here are some highlights from it. The report says in 2017 there was a 2.6% increase in violent crimes, an 11.7% increase in drug crimes, and a 15.9% increase in hate crimes. To put that number in perspective, 51 hate crimes total were reported in 2017. Looking now at some more specific crimes, the number of murders was down 19% from 47 in 2016 to 38 last year. Aggravated assaults, though, were up 4% to just over 3,000. Burglaries and breaking and enterings were down 9% from 6,300 to nearly 5,800, and the number of fraud offenses was up 3.7%. And that's just a few of the categories. Joining me now is the director of the Idaho State Police, Colonel Kedrick. Well, Colonel, always good to have you on.
Good to be back. Thanks, Doug.
Thanks for sharing your perspective. So first of all, whether it's those numbers or your own delving into the report itself, what stands out to you? What's your big takeaway from this 2017 report?
Well, I think it's important to understand, first of all, what we're looking at with the numbers, because these numbers are the numbers that are generated from the time the call of service is placed through the arrest. So these aren't convictions, it's through the arrest. So it's important that we understand what we're looking at here. Okay. It's also important to realize that depending on where we are in the state, in the more rural places, crime may be very different than where it is in the more urban places. So the crime in Idaho Report has the ability to break that down as well. But it's interesting as we look at the trends, and especially with Idaho being so fast growing as a state, our population's growing so quickly, that the trends are staying fairly consistent. There are some things that cause concern, of course, and some things that we're excited to see. But it's important to realize that this is simply a snapshot versus a trend over many years.
True, and well, you mentioned the growth. Is that one of the what are the concerns you have about growth population-wise when it comes to the crime rate and things that are happening around the area?
Sure. So crime rate is based on population numbers, of course. Sure. We take that into account. And as the population grows, then the crime typically grows with it. And that's why in rural settings, typically the crime rate is lower because of there are less people. But there are some things that cause us concern as we look at the overall numbers and the trends and the things that are going on. Particularly in the Treasure Valley, the crime this crime report showed, I think, was over $59 million of property was stolen. And we're trying to get a handle on that. And so we did a big push with the Ada County Sheriff's Office, Boise Police, Garden City Police, Meridian Police, and ISP. All of us did a big push a few months ago to get people to do some simple things like lock your car doors. Make sure your garage doors are closed at night. Lock your doors, all of your entrances to your house, including your garage doors. Those kinds of things that we can get a handle on. Those are simple things that we all can do to affect this. There's some things we can't do, but there are some things that we can do that are very simple. The law enforcement community cannot do it alone. The public can't do it alone, of course, but combined, we can really have a positive impact.
Anything alarming in the numbers that you saw this time?
Well, we saw that partner violence was down, which is really positive.
Intimate partner violence, in other words, husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, or other significant others.
That's down, and that's really positive. I think there's been a lot of publicity on that over the recent years. I know Sheriff Donahue in Canyon County has done a lot of work with that and others.
Through the Man Up Crusade, right?
Yes, and so that is down, and that's really positive. but crimes against juveniles is up, which is a little bit
Would that be
disconcerting
juvenile
for us.
on juvenile crime, or is it more adult child abuse kind of things?
Both of those crimes. So this is where we're looking at the victim being a juvenile. We're not looking at who the suspect is necessarily,
Okay.
but the victim being a juvenile, so it would incorporate both of those situations. So we're alarmed by that and concerned by that, because they're the most vulnerable in our population, of course.
Certainly. Are there signs in there besides that one that you find encouraging in terms of what category might have gone down?
Yeah, so it's encouraging overall to see that we still are really low as a state in violent crime. We're 44th in the nation in violent crime, and we're the lowest in the western United States. So that's really good. Even when we compare ourselves against rural states, we're still very, very low in violent crime, which makes Idaho a pretty attractive place to live, which would be helpful.
In a little bit, I'm going to get to the overall crime numbers too and where Idaho stacks up against the rest of the country. But this report was done in a different way on a new database this year. What was the upgrade and what was different about this report?
So what it does now that we didn't have the ability to do before, our Bureau of Criminal Identification folks at ISP, that's who really compile all of these data from the law enforcement agencies, they've made it available now so that you can go into our website and actually generate your own report. So you don't have to look at, if you live in a Boise County, for example, and you don't really care about Ada County, you don't have to look at that. You can go in and say, I care about this crime in my community over the last 10 years.
And we're seeing what that looks like on the website right now, so people have an example of what they would be seeing when they go there. This report also includes, that we can show here in the next graphic, a crime clock that kind of breaks things down, showing that there was a murder every 9.6 days, a rape every 15.4 hours, and a drug offense every 41.4 minutes. Why put that feature into the report?
We try to give it the dashboard look, so it's real time, so people can really equate. If it gets personal and we see that there's a murder every so many days in Idaho, then it gets personal really quick, as opposed to there were X number.
Just a big number,
right,
or a small number, whatever.
Because unless you have a family member or somebody who's a victim of that crime, it doesn't really mean a lot unless you get it down to where it's personalized.
Now, let's see. Let's compare Idaho to the rest of the country. Now, you started talking about it a little bit there. I want to show this next graphic about the crime rates from 2016, the latest numbers that we have. Here you have the list. Number one, the most dangerous city in terms of crime rate, District of Columbia, Washington, D.C., with 1,206 incidents or crimes per 100,000 people of population. We don't get to our region until number 27, which kind of surprisingly, I think Montana is the 27th in terms of crime rate with 368 incidents per 100,000. Washington at number 33, Oregon at 38, Utah at 42, and then overall in crime rate, you had mentioned 44th in violent crime rate, but overall Idaho 46th out of 51, including, of course, the District of Columbia, but Idaho just 230 per 100,000. So you had started talking about it a little bit earlier, but what does that say about the state we live in?
It says that Idaho is a pretty safe place to live, and it's a great place to live and to raise families, and that's what we want. Certainly we're not perfect and we have some work to do here because we don't have a zero crime rate, but it also says, I think, that community members are partnering with law enforcement to be able to keep these crime rates low. We have neighborhood watch programs. We have people that see something, say something, that aren't afraid to call and say, this doesn't seem quite right, and can you come and check it out? Those kinds of things we're able to get a handle on because we have partners in the community who are helping us. You know, our law enforcement can't be everywhere, and they're pulled thinner and thinner as time goes, with calls for service increasing. Just the Idaho State Police handles about 5,000 calls for service a week throughout the state, roughly 5,000 a week into our dispatch centers, and that's just our agency. So clearly we have we're spread pretty thin. So it takes a community effort, and I think we're seeing that as you see our crime rates.
You know, we've done a lot of stories reporting, and this show even has focused on the growth in the area. We talked about it a little bit before, but the Treasure Valley itself is growing about 18,000 people per year. Can state police, other agencies keep up with that growth in terms of numbers that you have employed, troopers on the roads, detectives looking into crimes?
Yeah, so that's one of the challenges we face, is how do we keep up with that growth? Because it is difficult. with the numbers that we have. So we've got to be able to do things and streamline things as much as we possibly can, and to make things as available as we can. And that's part of this report, is making it available to the public on our website.
Sure.
It goes clear back to 1995 right now on our website. So you can compare from 1995 and through 2017 or 2016 and see where we are with any crime that you want to build your own report there. So we're trying to make those things available to the public so that they can see where we stand as well.
Can state police add, or is there a plan to add more troopers?
Yeah, we have a good partner, a good relationship with our legislature and with the executive branch. Of course, we're a form of the executive branch of government. We represent the executive branch, and we have been growing over the last several years. The legislature has seen the need, and hopefully we'll continue to see the need to add some more people to keep these crime rates where they are.
You mentioned the collaboration with the other police departments and sheriff's offices on the property crime issue. How important is collaboration like that on different fronts, whether it's internet crimes or against children, drunk driving, things like that? When you see growth and everything, and just in this day and age, how important are collaborations between agencies? It's
of paramount importance. We cannot do it ourselves. No agency can. So we have got to collaborate to be able to do that, both inside Idaho with city police departments, sheriff's offices, the state police, as well as our federal partners that we have here in our state and our other bordering states as well, and look at trends and see what they're seeing and if they've come up with a solution we haven't thought of in bordering states also.
And we just have a brief moment. We just finished the 100 Deadliest Days, as it's called, the period between Memorial Day weekend and Labor Day weekend. More than 100 people died on Idaho roadways over that period in crashes. What kinds of things are you seeing, maybe commonalities in those accidents?
Yeah, I appreciate you bringing that up, because this is one of our big concerns. When we have an empty place at a dinner table every day for 100 days, one Idahoan is not with us, that is very concerning. The simplest things we can do is remember that driving's a full-time job. Wear your seatbelts, wear your motorcycle helmets, those sorts of things to keep us all safe.
Colonel, always good to talk to you, sir.
Thanks,
Thank
Doug,
you for coming in for your perspective on crime in Idaho. Let's do it again next year to keep it all in perspective.
Thank you.
Do appreciate it. Well, the motto is move for fun, get fit for life. But how does the St. Luke's FitOne aim to do that? Next on Viewpoint, we'll lace up our shoes and find out. Actually, I'll just sit right here and ask the FitOne Executive Director a bunch of questions about the event and its mission. Stay tuned.
This is not hollow. It's not particle board. It's not built with an Allen wrench or shipped flat packed from wherever. This is Furniture Row, where we take pride in furniture that is quality made, affordable, and makes your home look great. Check out the McKenna sofa, only $449, or the Portland bed, just $399, and the Aspen HD mattress, only $399.99. Plus, interest-free financing for 3 years. Shop the largest selection at the lowest prices guaranteed, only at Furniture Row.
To me, you are every part my son.
We will not let this break us.
Mrs. Pearson, your husband has died.
I want my kids to be okay. I want my family to be okay.
I wish for a baby.
I met the girl. You met a girl? No, the girl.
Nominated for 8 Emmys, This Is Us returns Tuesday, September 25th on NBC.
Kelly Clarkson, Jennifer Hudson, 2 of the best singers the world has ever seen. And I'm a good singer, but I'm definitely better than Blake.
Yeah.
I'm here to compete like what you gonna do. It still doesn't seem real.
It will when you put this on. I want to be on your team. I want to be on your team too, though.
God's sakes, this is not a slumber party, it's The Voice.
The Voice premieres September 24th on NBC.
Isn't it about time you got the best sleep of your life? Then come discover the power of Tempur-Pedic sleep at Denver Mattress. With Tempur-Pedic's pressure-relieving comfort, you'll fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and wake up feeling refreshed. And right now, get a gift certificate for up to $300 along with 6 years no interest and free delivery. Get the best sleep of your life today at Denver Mattress, your Tempur-Pedic elite retailer.
Welcome back to Viewpoint. I'm Doug Petcash. St. Luke's FitOne really does have something for everyone who feels like getting out and moving their bodies, whether it's to race in a competitive half marathon or 10K, jog a 5K, or even stroll along with your baby while it's in a stroller. Well, it's coming up this Saturday in downtown Boise. FitOne also includes the two-day Healthy Living Expo Thursday and Friday at the Boise Center. My next guest is St. Luke's FitOne Executive Director, Eric Stride. Eric, thank you for being here today. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, let's start off. What is the mission of FitOne?
Our mission is to build healthy communities through fun, active living. So our motto is move for fun, get fit for life. We want kids to get out and learn healthy lifestyles early so that it's fun and engaging and that they build those habits for the rest of their life.
It just becomes part of who they are.
Exactly.
So what are you expecting for race day this year?
Well, as of today, we're at about 10,200 people, and so we expect close to about 11,000 in downtown for race day.
Now, this race and the different courses really give people a good idea, the participants. It's a tour of the city.
Yeah, our race is really unique compared to other races. We start at the Capitol. The half marathon goes out to the Botanical Gardens and back up through the depot and down to Ann Morrison Park. The 10K does a shorter version of that, and then the 5K is just straight up Capitol to the depot and down Ann Morrison.
It really gives people a good idea of what what this whole thing has to offer. Now, there are some new things this year. I understand there's a new app that you can almost connect with a runner.
Yep, so you can download the RaceJoy app. It's available on our website.
And it's RaceJoy?
RaceJoy, correct, yep. And you download the RaceJoy app, and if you're not running, you can record a cheer for someone in your family or a friend who's running, or you can follow them along to see when they finish or when they're coming up to see you along the race course.
Now you say record a cheer for them. Is that something that they can hear then along the race?
Exactly. So they'll be running along with the RaceJoy app tracking their time, and they'll hear a cheer that you pre-recorded for them.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And now I also understand you're trying out a new timing system this year that has a pretty interesting feature.
We are. We're really excited about our new timer. They will give a 30-second video of every finisher at the end of the race, so you can watch yourself come, 15 seconds before you've crossed the finish line, finish, and then the 15 seconds after.
And they'll email that to you?
Yeah, you get that clip after the race.
Wow, that is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And get to see yourself finish the big race.
Yeah.
Also, the Healthy Living Expo, Thursday and Friday at the Boise Center. What's happening there?
So all sorts of things. The Healthy Living Expo opens at noon on Thursday. We have education about nutrition from Albertsons, registered dietitians that'll teach you some cool new recipes. On Friday, we have Boise's biggest jump rope party.
Tell me more about that, because it's not just about jump roping, but you're going to pull people into it.
We are. We brought the summer wind skippers in, and we're expecting about 500 people. So the first 500 kids will get a free jump rope and just come out and engage with them and have a good time learning their jump rope techniques.
And so when and where is that?
At 6 o'clock on Friday at the Boise Center on the plaza.
Do people have to sign up?
Nope, just come on down, it's free.
Stop by and do it, and then there'll be a lot of jump roping
going
on.
Yep.
And the Healthy Living Expo, what are the hours for that?
It opens at noon on Thursday and open until 8, and then on Friday it opens at 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. And you can pick up your race packet and then come and meet all sorts of vendors. We've got 100 different vendors that'll come and teach you about various nutrition and healthy lifestyle.
There's also things to do as well that could be related to healthy lifestyle. For instance, Boise Parks and Recreation typically has a booth. We're talking about like the the Ridge to Rivers trail system.
Yeah, all sorts of different vendors, Axiom Fitness, Albertsons, all talking about whether they give away fruit or classes, Zumba classes, and things like that.
All right, so what is the event raising money for this year?
So we raise money to promote healthy kids and active kids in our community. We build tracks. We built a track at Lewis and Clark Elementary School. $15,000 went to that track, and they've built an amazing program around that, getting kids active and walking laps on the track. And we've done that in several others. We have a new track going at Desert Sage Elementary School this fall, and we've built over 15 tracks across Idaho.
15?
Correct, yeah.
And now, obviously, FitOne is big in Boise, but those tracks and things, this is
not just Boise,
outside.
they're in Jerome, Twin Falls. Yep, that's correct. Yeah.
And explain again why it is that you think putting a track in at an elementary school is a good thing.
Well, a lot of times they don't have the resources, so just getting that track out there enables them to go out and walk laps or run. And in the case of Lewis and Clark, they get their whole family out there on the weekend. It's a community where you don't have necessarily sidewalks, and they all come out and do laps with their family.
And it's about starting those habits early?
Exactly. Yeah, it's just for the kids to get active early and walk.
And so that's like 15 grand per track?
Correct, that's correct.
Or does it depend on the project?
No, that's usually, yeah, 15 grand per track. It's about what it takes to get in. And then we like to support it afterwards with some funding to make sure that they get it up and running and that they are able to keep engaging.
And it seems over the years that this event has always been geared towards the earliest, the kids, the babies too, because for a long time you donated, raised and gave money for St. Luke's Children's Hospital.
That's correct, yeah, we had a $100,000 commitment to St. Luke's Children's. We fulfilled that last year. And so this year we're looking at new opportunities, whether it's standing desks in schools to get kids off their, standing up during the day a little bit healthier, or hydration stations where instead of a soda machine, you've got your water bottle and you can go fill up.
So it's one of those machines that you see that looks like a water fountain, but it also has the fill spout?
Exactly, exactly. So those have been really successful. So in addition, we've raised $438,000 total over the life of FitOne. Okay. And those funds go back into tracks, hydration stations, all kind of healthy habits across.
And how long has it been FitOne now?
This will be our 6th year.
6th year, and you've already raised $438,000.
That's correct, yeah.
Got a lot of that in the bank.
Yeah, well, it's out in the community.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
But I mean, ready to go out into these projects. Yeah. So that's got to feel good to be able to make a tangible, concrete, almost literally with the tracks, impact on community.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, hopefully we'll hit $100,000 this year and be able to put that directly back in the community now that we've fulfilled our commitment to the Children's Pavilion.
$100,000.
Yeah,
that is pretty cool. Eric, thanks a lot. Appreciate you coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Best wishes on Saturday or Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and of course moving forward. This is your second one, right?
Correct.
As
That's
executive director. All right. Congratulations on a great event so far. Well, as you heard, FitOne is putting its fundraising focus on school kids. Next, how one Caldwell Elementary School is using FitOne fundraising money to put kids on track to a healthy lifestyle.
Isn't it about time you got the best sleep of your life? Then come discover the power of Tempur-Pedic sleep at Denver Mattress. With Tempur-Pedic's pressure-relieving comfort, you'll fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and wake up feeling refreshed. And right now, get a gift certificate for up to $300 along with 6 years no interest and free delivery. Get the best sleep of your life today at Denver Mattress, your Tempur-Pedic elite retailer.
The things that give our lives meaning and joy can also be a struggle to manage. Sometimes that leaves us feeling not so great. Somewhere in between perfection and not is a life in balance. It's what we're talking about Sundays on the News at 10.
Starting tonight on the News at 10. We kick off a whole new season of Life in Balance by looking back. Catch an all-new season of Life in Balance starting tonight on the News at 10.
It takes a special kind of show to receive this much love.
The way that you look at me, wow.
And even more rare is this much excitement for the new season.
You try and pretend like we're the same.
I'm not trying to pretend.
You know?
I met the girl. You met a girl? No, the girl.
This Is Us returns Tuesday, September 25th on NBC. September 25th, television's #1 drama returns.
The way that you look at me, wow.
Emmy-nominated This Is Us is back for a new season.
I met the girl. You met a girl? No, the girl.
Then it's the premiere of New Amsterdam.
We are the system, and we need to change.
They're not going to let you come in here and just help people.
So let's help as many as we can before they figure us out.
The premiere of New Amsterdam after the return of This Is Us, September 25th on NBC.
FitOne encourages a healthy lifestyle through its run, walk, and stroll events and Healthy Living Expo, but also by putting its money where its mouth is. It uses fundraising dollars to encourage kids to live healthy lives by giving them a nice facility where they can get some exercise. You heard Eric Stride talk about this. FitOne gave $15,000 to put in a track at a Caldwell Elementary School. Joining me now is Lee Peebles. She is the principal at Lewis and Clark Elementary School in Caldwell. Lee, thanks for being here.
Yeah, absolutely.
So tell me about this track you have at Lewis and Clark.
Well, we've had the track for a few years now, but we're in our second year of initiating a walking program on the track. And so FitOne donated the money to build the track at the school, so we have an 1/8 of a mile track out on our field at Lewis and Clark.
So is it at the field, or does it go all the way around the school?
It's on the field, which is great. It's in a safe spot, but it's also accessible by the community. So our kids can access it not only during the school day, but also the community can access it in the evenings and on the weekends.
And do you find kids walking with their parents or brothers and sisters at other times that aren't during school?
Oh, absolutely. The track is always busy. There's people that are staying long after the school day to participate on that, but then also if you ever stop by on the weekend, you'll see the track being used.
And how do you use it during the school day?
Our students really have taken on the track to play with a purpose, and so they go outside on recess, before school, lunchtime, and participate in our school walking program.
Which is what?
So all of our students have a lanyard that has a QR code that's individualized for each student, and so when the staff is out there during recess or lunch, they take their iPad or their phone, and as students complete laps, they scan the QR code, and as students total up more laps, they accumulate points. And each mile gets them a certain token or prize. So
like what?
So the students start to, on their lanyard, accumulate tokens for different mile markers. So your first mile, 5, 10, 15. When you get up to 25 miles, you get a t-shirt and then different prizes up from there.
And how do the kids react to that? How have they responded to this program?
This has totally changed the culture of movement in our building. Kids are excited.
Like the culture of movement.
Oh, absolutely. Kids are excited to move. Brain breaks and knowing that kids need to move has always been something that's been important in our building because we know that that's how kids learn best. But kids are excited to get out on the track and move and have something to do at recess, but then additionally seeing the families come in and participate with them during the day has helped to increase our parent engagement and involvement in the school. But it's become pretty competitive. A lot of our teachers now are out there on the track too, and we do have class competitions each month to see who can rack up the most miles. And those classes in each grade level that have the most miles get the Golden Shoe Award. And
oh, the Golden Shoe?
Oh yeah, you want the Golden Shoe in your classroom.
Is that like a tennis shoe dipped in paint?
Absolutely. And the kids love it and they work for it. And it's wonderful to see the teachers out on the track with their students too. So not only are they promoting that play and having that energy and activity, but also just to see those healthy lifestyles being established at an early age. Now,
you say it has increased parent involvement in the school, but how have you seen it affect student performance, perhaps? I know you got a small sample size yet, but
I'm so glad that you asked that question because I think that one of the things that we know is that movement does help students to engage their brains in a different way, which we see a direct impact back on classroom. And we've been conducting kind of some interesting studies with watching how students move on the track and then also correlating that to our academic achievement. And so I could tell you story after story of students who, as we've seen their track numbers increase, that we've also seen their reading fluency increase. But then as a building overall, we've continued to see our academic numbers increase since we implemented the walking program, and I just can't not correlate those two together.
It's really cool to see them go hand in hand or hand in foot,
yeah.
You know, because as they're
Absolutely.
making these strides both on the track and in class too.
Yes.
That is really great to hear that that's happening. Lee, thank you so much for
Yes,
your time. Really appreciate you being here and hearing about this great program that's going on at Lewis and Clark Elementary in Caldwell.
Thank you.
Oh, have a great day. Well, that's all of our time for this week's Viewpoint. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Doug Petcash. I'll see you tomorrow on today's morning news and then right back here next Sunday morning for another Viewpoint.